you're graphing a hyperbola, given its equation in standard form, what you want to do is first determine which form it's going to be in. Okay, so first of all, you can see that this has a minus in it. It looks kind of like an ellipse, but it's got a minus in it. So when there's a minus right here in between your two squared values, then you know it's going to be a hyperbola. Hyperbola looks like two parabolas going in opposite directions. Okay, so here I have the x squared is first, so it is the positive value. I like to think of it like that. And so what I have here is this situation down here. Okay, so I like to think of this, if the x squared part is first, then it's wrapping around the x-axis, so it's going to have this shape to it. Okay, where if the y squared is first, it's going up and down. Okay, so we're basically going to have a center here, and then we're going to use that to find the vertices. Okay, and it's very similar to an ellipse in a way. Okay, so we're let me show you how you would do this. Okay, so you can see just like the equation for an ellipse. So this the center coordinate for the x value is going to be a -2. And you can see that there's no value inside of the square besides the y, so that means it's going to be a 0. So you're going to graph -2, 0, okay, and then you're going to use your a and b values to basically you kind of construct a little box, and that box then makes these little asymptotes that will show that your graph gets closer and closer. So this will help kind of determine the shape of your graph. Okay, so here we can see that the value, if a squared is 9, then a is 3. Okay, and so here if b squared is 4, then b is 2. And so we're going to use that center -2, 0, and we've got to remember that we're going to be basically going to the right with the a value, and then to the left, and then we're going to go up with the b value and make our little box. Okay, so let me show you how to do this in ALEKS. Okay, so we're going to click on the hyperbola button here, and if you come over here, it tells you to place the center first. So we're going to go over here to -2, 0 and place our center, and that didn't quite. Got to be careful with this one. Here we go. Oops, I did it again. All right. Okay, so I've got it. Yay! And now remember that A was 3. So I'm going to, in my graph, I want to go in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, out 3 units. I'm going to place that vertex. Okay, now it's asking you to help make this rectangle. So basically, you're going to go up your B value, which was 2. It's kind of hard to see on here sometimes, so just kind of go a little carefully. So now I can double check, see that A is, I went from the center to the right 3 units, that looks good, and then from the center up 2 units, that looks good, and this is my hyperbola. You see these asymptotes here, and you see this little box that we would make. So if you were graphing this on something that was not ALEKS, you would construct this box, make the asymptotes, and then kind of just sketch the little curves here and here. Okay? So let's look at another example. Okay, so here's an example where I can see that my center is going to be at 0, -2. So I go over here, click on my hyperbola, and I'm going to go here to 0, and then down to -2. Make my point there, and then my a value, and you see the x squared is first, so I want my hyperbola going this way and not this direction. Okay, so I'm going to make the vertices next. So I'm going to go out 5 units. Since a squared is 25, I'm going to go, then a is 5. Okay, and click on that point, and then I'm going to make my rectangle, help determine the shape. And I see that b squared is 16, so b is 4. So I'm going to go up 4 units from the center. Make that point, and there you go. Let's see if I can get one that opens up or down. Alright, great. So see here the y squared is first. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is find the center here. So now my center is my x coordinate is 3 and my y coordinate is 4. So click on the button, x coordinate 3, y coordinate 4. So I got to do it this way, it makes it a little easier. Oops. Okay. And then, so it's opening up because y squared is first. So I want to place the vertice going in this direction. So I just look at the value that's underneath that y squared, and that's going to be, so if this is 25, then I'm going to go up 5 units. So 1, 2, 5. Oops. Place that point. Now I need to go again from the center, and you can see there's not a number underneath this x squared value, so that means there's a 1 there. And so if, what's the square root of 1? 1. So I'm just going to go out 1 unit to make my rectangle. So you can see this is a little more narrow. And that is your hyperbola.